Ho, ho, we're live here at, oh boy, here we go. Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement here in Sharpsburg, Georgia. I think some of those cards say paint correction. I'm not sure which ones are which. And those of you who have not been here with me before probably know what this is. The rest of you probably don't, or who weren't there during those particular videos. Oh man, I'm just wrapping up after, I think, almost 2 weeks of severe mold infestation in a 2008 GMC Acadia. Ooh. Which was caused by several years of leaking water, which I did fix the main leak. What you're looking at here is a photograph I took back in the very beginning, in case y'all didn't see that video. That is water, puddles of water in the front driver's floorboard area. Oh man. Yeah, and what did that cause? Let's see here if I can flip to the next photo for y'all. Look at all that mold everywhere. Oh my goodness, it was all over the steering wheel. That's the lid to the center thing in the console, covered with mold. You can see it all over that front passenger seat there. Oh boy, there's a better look at all that. Ooh-wee. That stuff, folks, was everywhere, all up the pillar post, all up in the headliner. It was everywhere. Oh boy, there's another look at that passenger seat. Holy cow, folks. Man. Down in the console, the cup holders, all up in there. All up in those little cracks around all the switches and all these little cracks, and probably a lot of places you couldn't see, or I couldn't see. Here's a photo of one of the doors. I forget, I think that's the driver's door. You can see, look at all that mold. Holy cow. Hey, Mr. Randy Thomas, how you doing, brother? You ever had one like this, Mr. Randy? Look at all that mold, fella. 2008 GMC Acadia. Holy, there's a look at the back of the front driver's seat. You can see the mold down in there. You can see it all down there, all down in the carpet. Holy moly. Ooh. Look at this, would ya? This is one of the back seats, Mr. Thomas. Let me see if I can wave at you, Mr. Randy. Holy cow. You ever tackled anything like that, Randy? Look at the mold on the armrest. Holy moly. Wow. This is another look at, I think, at one of the other doors. Mold infested. Holy cow. Oh man, the whole vehicle was like that. After much work, lots of vacuuming, wet dry vacuum, and my wet dry vac, Randy, is 6 gallons. I think I filled it up 3 times. That's how much, and it would still be floating and would come up, water would come up. Oh man, as it turned out, if you watch the other video, underneath that carpet, in some places there's foam that's 1 inch thick. It's like a huge sponge. Oh man. What does it look like now, you say? Well, hell, let's walk out there and find out. Alrighty then. We still got some sunshine here in Sharpsburg, Georgia, but I bet you it's gonna go away. Hey, Randy, there's my new Chief Steamer, boy. I love that thing. You ought to come by one day and look at it if you had never experienced one before. A ton of difference between it and one of those retail level McCullough stillers. Those got me by for a while, but they kept tearing up on me because they're not made to do what I do. Man, I used every tool in the book. Drill brushes, wet dry vacs, steam extraction, hot water extraction, just about every cleaner I got. I used a special shampoo and treatment that kills mold. But enough of all that. If you've seen the previous videos, I had to take the seats out, had to take all that carpet out all the way back, strip it all out, remove most of those trim pieces, and ran the ozone generator, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in different parts of the vehicle. Remember that door right there, Randy? Remember that, buddy? It's looking good now. It was all over the dash. All that's been cleaned, meticulously steamed, cleaned, wiped down with mold and mildew killer. The vent system has been disinfected, both with steam and that mold killer. And the ozone generator, which I ran in here maybe 4 or 5 different times in different parts of the vehicle, along with a circulating fan, along with the engine running and the recirculation mode going on the air conditioner. Yeah, it's cleaned up rather nice. Remember that console? Remember all that? How nasty that was? How nasty that was? Clean that up. Down in there, inside of everything was cleaned. Everything. Remember the mold that was on all over that seat? It's all gone. The carpet was cleaned while I had it out of the vehicle. While I had it out of the vehicle. Some of you may remember the previous photos and video of the headliner. There's still a few stains left. Got about 90% of all that out, but there's no mold, no mold, no mold, no mold. Dash came out looking rather good. Yeah, buddy. Remember the back door, how nasty that was? How nasty all that carpet was? The backs of those seats all down in there. Remember all that? Holy cow. Man. How nasty these seats were. I had to pull these seats out. And let me tell you what, Mr. Randy, they are heavy. And there's big old bolts that hold them in. I think 4, 5, 6 for each rear seat. And they were just about welded in there. They were rusted so bad. All that was pulled out. All the plastic trim, all that. The seat, the back third row seat as they call it. Remember how nasty that was? Man, oh man. But now, looking good, looking good. I think the cargo area wasn't too terrible. But all this was taken loose. Those panels there were taken out. This was taken out. The spare tire cover, all that was deep cleaned in there. That screwdriver belongs to the customer. All of this was steam cleaned and cleaned using a variety of different methods and products. I don't even remember how many times I had to wet dry back this thing and clean it up. And one thing I forgot to mention, Randy, is the other thing I did was pull all the seat belts out and steam clean those. And that bolt down there is a pain in the butt, let me tell you what. Ugh, man, this thing has been a monumental task. Remember all that crap that was all over this door? It's all been blasted out with steam and all kind of stuff. Remember the back of this seat? This seat here? Oh man, I need to wipe this back down. It's still got a little bit of protectant that's spotting up on it. Some of that was caused by a kid. Some of that's damage. She has several kids. That stain down there, Randy, I steamed it. Don't know what it is. I reduced it some, but it would not come out. Scrubbed it. That's where the battery is. That cover was taken off. All down in there was clean. Of course, all this carpet was out, Randy. There was nothing but red metal here. That was cleaned before the carpet was put back in, along with the carpet. All the door jambs were cleaned. Oh yeah, Remember this door? It was pretty nasty also. Pretty nasty. All the carpet is now as clean as it can get. She has no floor mats, Randy. There's no floor mats. So I'm going to put some temporary ones in. But just to give you an idea of how it turned out, now I can detect zero odor from the mold. Zero. I mean, you do smell some of the residual from the ozone generator and some of the other chemicals I used in here, but I do not smell any mold whatsoever. And Randy, what I had to do was open that sunroof there. Those drainage tubes run down this pillar post and come out down behind the front tire. One of my other videos, it explained how I cleaned those out, and now they are free flowing. What happens, Randy, is they get clogged up, and there's a couple of trays up in here, water trays, and they get clogged up. The water doesn't drain out. It goes down in the headliner. Sometimes it runs down the windshield and down into your dash, and you know, you go uphill, it runs back to the headliner and empties out back there. She's already had to have the blower motor replaced one time because it shorted out from all the water. But oh, this has been a marathon, brother, a marathon. Whew. I am so glad to be done with this thing. And now it is drivable without risking your health. Without risking your health. I think before it was very unhealthy. I couldn't hardly stand to have my head anywhere in there, Randy, without putting my aspirator on and wearing my big thick gloves, and it would still choke me up at times. Man, oh man, that was something else. It's not back to factory fresh. Didn't expect it to be, but I do believe, Randy, that it is as clean as it possibly can be, without just dismantling the entire vehicle and replacing everything. Just absolutely replacing everything. Huh. I guarantee you, I have done nothing to the outside. She said that she may have that done next. We shall see, we shall see. I don't know. She said she's going to seal around. There's a what they call a moon roof in the back. It's over kind of between the seats there, and we suspect that might have been leaking it as well, but it doesn't open, so she may be able to just put some sealant up there and leave it that way, and it may be all right. All right, folks, well, I appreciate everybody dropping in. Got a couple more projects lined up. One of them is you see it sitting back there, that's a 66 Volkswagen that I did, about a year ago, Randy. Did extreme paint correction on it and put a ceramic coating on it. It's back for another shot. I can't get the window roll up. That's why it's got plastic over the window. Maybe starting on it in a couple days, but after he left, I noticed a lot of oil on the ground, and he was slinging oil everywhere. So I called him up, Randy, and told him he might want to come look at it. He might want to have that fixed before he spends money on me doing the outside again. It'll just be up to him. You know how that goes. You only allot a certain amount of money for certain things, and you know, you set your priorities. I didn't want to just jump in there and, you know, have him spend a bunch of money on me cleaning the car when he might decide to have the mechanical aspect of it repaired first. But he's got a couple more other vehicles that I've done for him in the past that he'll probably bring one of those by. This outside does need some work. What I may do in the morning, Randy, is just clean it off real quick with a pressure washer, maybe give it a good foam, rinse that off, and make it look somewhat better without going, you know, into a full detail. But these were nice vehicles when they came out. But I'm pretty pleased with it. Pretty pleased with it. I do appreciate you tuning in, Randy. You and whoever else might have tuned in. Sometimes I can't tell who's here, who's watching, who's not watching, and blah blah blah. But I appreciate it. So that'll be the last video in this series on this vehicle, unless she decides to bring it back for exterior work at some point. I don't know. But if she does, then we'll continue on. But if you hit that subscribe button, if you're on YouTube, you will be notified of future projects and the progress that I make on those, some of the tools that I use, the products that I use, the methods that I use, which are mine. I'm not saying they're the best or the only way. I'm just saying they're my way, my tools, my methods that I've chosen. I think other guys have some different methods, different tools, whatever works for you in your world, as Scott Blake says. That's all right. You know, if it works, it works. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But if you have a question, hey, put it down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Or if you don't want to ask that where everybody else can see it, hey, send me a private message and I'll get back to you that way, so that people don't understand what you've been doing. And Randy, after everything else was done, all the leather, vinyl, plastic, all of that stuff was treated with 303 aerospace protectant, all of it. And then all the fabric was protected and treated with 303 fabric protectant. Don't get them mixed up, because if you get that aerospace on some fabric, it don't work too good. Difficult. But all that stuff has been treated, including the headliner, all the plastics and controls up there, everything. You know, all down in places like this, Randy, in my steamer. You're not supposed to, but I put some of that mold killer stuff in the steamer and shot it down all in there. Shot it all down in every little crack, every place I could find. Any place there was a vent thing, like right here, any place, it got shot with steam and mold killer. Then I cleaned out my steamer real good with some ONR to neutralize whatever might have ended up in the steamer from all that. But I do appreciate everybody. I'm gonna go call the lady and tell her car is finally done. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you.